Hello and welcome to another Colorscope for people born in June. Yes, I've given these readings a name of their own. Being a sociologist, we always make up new words, and this is mine, Colorscopes. I'm Dr. Karen, and you're on Karen's Colours. If you've been here before, then you are very, very welcome back. If not, if this is your first time here, well, let's hope that I have something to offer you that will help you through the month of August 2026. For this month, I've decided to look at the Doreen Virtue's Ascended Masters. Now, this particular oracle was created by a well-known tarot creator, and I thought that some of the things that she has to say in her Ascended Masters oracle might be a benefit to us. So, before we begin anything else, let's do a bit of shuffling, shall we? Now, as you know, I'm still not very good at this, but I am improving through a bit of practice. All right then. Let's just choose from the middle in here and this one will do it. So let's get right into the color, shall we? So let's now look at some colors for people born in June. What do we have here? We have a strength, which is red on grey. We have an obstacle, which is black on cyan. And we have an underlying energy that supports things, which is yellow on grey. Red on grey as a strength. There's a great deal of confusion and uncertainty and the need to tread carefully in the underlying energy of grey. This is the driver, the need to find a middle road between competing energies, competing demands upon your energies, upon your time, upon your resources. And in the real world, the way in which you react to this is to get busy. Red is all about activation energy. It's about passion. It's about making choices based on what you feel right now. But it's also a sign that says, stop, reconsider, because what you're about to do is potentially dangerous. But because this is your strength, it means that even if the actions that you take are potentially dangerous to others, you are still able to deal with them effectively because it is your strength. There's uncertainty and the need to create certainty, to create something out of confusion. In the real world, you do so by action. The obstacle you're facing. Now, this is interesting because what you're facing here is a need for peace and harmony and security. You want things to settle down. You want to stop whatever it is that is preventing you from feeling as though you are in some sort of harmonious situation. In the real world, however, everything seems to be in stalemate. This is not just stagnation. This is being halted completely. You are prevented from moving forwards. This is your obstacle. How do you overcome this feeling of doom and gloom that comes over you in the real world? How do you manage to deal with the fact that nothing is moving, that you are stuck between a rock and a hard place? All you want is peace and quiet. What you're getting is the ultimate in peace and quiet, and that is no movement at all. The underlying energy that allows you to travel through the month is grey internally, which pretty much the same as here. You're still treading that fine line between different competing elements within your life. People want you to make decisions, but instead there's a lot of indecision, there's a lot of confusion around you. And in the real world, you're learning an awful lot. You are learning about the things that will create some sort of clarity, which is what you're seeking internally. Yellow is also about happiness. The more you learn, the happier you become, because ultimately knowledge is power. And it's a different sort of power to the power that you have here. This is physical power. This is mental power. And in creating this as your underlying energy, you have the potential for creating a lot of happiness and joy in your life. Let's have a look at the colors that you have here and what is missing. You have black, but there's no white. You have red and yellow, but there's no green or blue or brown or orange, but you do have grey. There's no purple, there's no pink, but you do have cyan. We'll just add another grey one to there just to make it balance. Right. So you have here 5 colours representing 5 sets of skills that you will be activating or using throughout the month of August. When we look at these in terms of how they interact, firstly, let's just shift the underlying energy out and see what happens when the interaction between the strength and the weakness occurs. And we do this by swapping over the underlying drivers. And now we have red over cyan and black over grey. Red and cyan are opposites on the colour wheel. And as such, it means that there is a balancing act that is taking place here. The strength and the weakness, the strength and the obstacle, come together in the same area, which, because it is a strength and an obstacle, means that whatever you do, whatever passionate, deliberate, potentially dangerous activity you are engaged in, it does not bring you the sort of peace and harmony and stability which is what you are looking for. As opposites on the colour wheel, you're being thrown constantly between stagnation and high activation, standstill and risk-taking. And those two make for very uncomfortable bedfellows. Here we have black and grey. Grey is the stepping point between black and white, which of course you don't have. The black up here in the real world is a sense of doom and gloom and depression and not feeling well and wanting to withdraw and keeping away from others. Whereas the grey says, hey, there is a middle road. There is some other way of managing issues. There is a drive here to find some sort of compromise between the different competing energies, competing demands upon your time, your resources, and yourself, really, that stops you from being so incredibly prone towards not feeling good about yourself. Now, there is a further reading here in that the red and black in the real world demonstrate that you have a real issue with the way in which you represent yourself or present yourself in social life. Red and black are the sexuality crisis. This is how you are seen by others as a person, as a human being, and this is also how you represent yourself to others, how you see yourself as a person. Are you strong and capable, or are you shy and retiring? Are you secretive, or are you open and demanding? These are different ways of presenting yourself. And as a sexuality crisis, it means that you have not yet determined to the world just who you are and how you operate. You are keeping that information under wraps because ultimately the black here says you are secretive. You're not prepared to let the world see who you really are because you'd rather that they saw you as somebody who's full of bravado and perhaps a risk taker who may even spill blood in the quest for whatever it is that they are trying to achieve as a human being. The grey and cyan internally don't have any strong affiliations because they're both fairly weak colours. So the drivers are not as strong as the actions that are precipitated by those drivers in the real world. Now, what happens when we put in the intervening underlying energy? Looking firstly at the energy, the underlying energy alongside the strength. We swap over the drivers, and what do we get? No change. We still have red on grey, and we still have yellow on grey. That means that this quest for some sort of middle road, some sort of way out of confusion is overwhelming, and it is done through either spontaneous activity based on whatever the passion is at the moment, or it's based on whatever it is that you are thinking or learning about in order to create some sort of happiness. Now, red and yellow, when they are together as a single color, become orange. Orange is about crisis. It's also about survival. It's courage, it's confidence, it's being able to deal with whatever issues arise within social life and do so in a way that makes you not just the life of the party, because ultimately this is strength energy, but also allows you to be a leader. What about when we take that underlying energy and we attach it to the obstacle? Again, swapping over the drivers. We now have yellow on cyan, and then we have black on grey. Now, the black and grey we've already met as a problem that occurs when we mix the strength with the obstacle. So we know that here, uncertainty and confusion and finding or looking for the middle path causes you in the real world to feel depressed because things are not working out the way that you want them to. It's like you can't find the way out of a particular dilemma. But we also have here another set of issues, and that is the yellow over cyan. Cyan has to do with wanting peace and harmony and being, as it is here, as part of an obstacle, it's being at a standstill. The yellow, on the other hand, is the ability to give the appearance of being happy and quite cheerful in terms of how you act in the real world. When we mix yellow with cyan, we get a lime green. And that lime green is all about taking a gamble. Are you risking something that you can afford to risk when we look at that black? Or is this your way out of the dilemma that you find yourself in? Is this a positive way of resolving the issues that you are faced with? Or are you simply gambling and finding yourself in even deeper than you were before you started? Let's have a look at what colours there are of the skills that are missing to see what you might choose to add to your repertoire. There's no white or green or blue or brown or orange or purple or pink. These 7 skills, these 7 colours, represent what you could be doing, because you've done this before, what you could be doing to enhance this reading. By choosing the most appealing color and then the least appealing, you are setting yourself up to alter this underlying energy. And in doing so, you then positively impact on the strength, and you also positively impact on the obstacle by reducing its severity. So what have we got here? We have white, openness to experience. Be curious about the world. Have a look at what is available out there, what opportunities, what sort of experiences and new knowledge is available for you that you haven't considered before. Green is all about a change of heart. How do you alter your values so that when something new and novel comes up, you are able to grasp at it? Blue is about finding the sort of security that comes from a job well done, being responsible and reliable, and doing your duty. Brown is about goals, aspirations, and the practical skills that you need to develop in order to achieve what you set out to achieve. Orange, which is hidden here, is about courage and confidence. Are you able to survive whatever it is that is coming at you? Purple is about healing. It's about fixing things that are broken. But it also requires you sometimes to rip the scab off the sore in order to allow the fresh air to help to heal whatever lies underneath. Pink is about love and engagement and being able to be compassionate and in turn to attract that same sort of love and compassion and caring energy that comes from the pink. What does the oracle have to offer us here? This is Isis. It's asking you to balance your career and your home life. What is your career? Is your career being the boss? Is it being someone who learns? Or is it all about something that causes you a great deal of distress and depression? What's your home life? Is your home life an uncertain situation where you're constantly treading a fine line between what you want and what you want to avoid? Or is it about peace and harmony and contentment? You need to find a balance between all of these, and in doing so, incorporate these skills and allow that home life and your work life to assimilate into something that you actually desire and are happy with. Well, it certainly seems like August is going to be a rather transformative month for a lot of us. Maybe your month will be a little less challenging than the reading might suggest. But on the other hand, maybe challenge is exactly what you need at this time in order to help yourself out of the doldrums that have pretty much afflicted us for most of the year. So until I see you again in September for the next Colorscopes, may the colours of your life lead you in a direction that is for your own higher good. Catch you next time. Bye.